Today was a canon event so powerful that it shook the earth. Crowds erupted into cheers, artists furiously scribbling against their papers, fanfiction writers clenching their Monster Energy drinks with excitement as a whole new lane of canon steps up to be mutilated. Today marked the start of an era. Wildlife is the sixth installment in the Life series, or as many call the collective Traffic Life. Prior to its release, we've seen blinking traffic lights and Jimmy's very convincing denial. The members were about as subtle as a runaway lawnmower with chainsaws strapped to the wheels, so we had all week to get excited. Life series drops are better than birthdays and Christmas combined to me, so needless to say, I was hyped. This season's gimmick was the wild card. Each session, a random world effect designed by Green will activate, making it harder or funnier or even more complicated to play the game. This season, everyone gets 6 lives, most likely because 3 lives would be too few considering the extra challenge of the wild cards. Green hinted at some other twists in the intro, but that's all the information we have right now as far as rules. For the first session, the wild card allowed players' size to change, also affecting the hitboxes, so you can get into really small spaces or fit through really big spaces. When you crouch, you shrink, and jumping makes you bigger. This leads to perfect screenshots like this. I'm going to go over my predictions for the season, along with what I hope to see from each of the current alliances. And yes, I'm going into spoilers for episode 1 of Wildlife. If you want to go in blind, maybe skip this one. One last thing, I've only watched the POVs of Green, Scar, and Jim so far, so I used the Wildlife SMP wiki for the rest. Yes, there's already a wiki page. The devil works fast, but Life series fans work faster. If there's anything you'd like to bring to my attention or just mention to me, feel free to drop it down in the comments. With all of that out of the way, let's get going. I'm going to go over my favorite alliance first, the BAM team. The name's still negotiable down in the comments, but I like the BAM Brigade as far as options go. They're the subject of my drawing today. I absolutely love them. I've been wanting a Jimmy Scar team up since Double Life, and throwing Lizzie in there is such a fun bonus. Now, this could go one of 2 ways. It can bring us the most dead team ever to die, going out right at the start, one after another, which is what most people expect. But I think these 3 don't get enough credit. Yes, Jimmy is notoriously bad at the game, and Lizzie's probably sitting right next to him in that category. As I've stated on many occasions, I think Scar's an absolute unit when it comes to gameplay, but he's already died once, and if he's not careful, his allies may drag him into reckless situations. But if they play this right, it could work out really well. Most of their server mates underestimate them, for good reason, so that can be played to their advantage, taking people off guard. Lizzie's definitely the most logical of the bunch, so she could help ground Scar when he gets a bit too insane of an idea. Next up, we have Jem and Joel. They don't have a team name yet, but this pair is terrifying. As I said in my Life series member ranking video, Joel is tied with Green and Scar for most kills, and that's probably why he never makes it to the finales. His kills are messy, and as he boasts an impressive number, he has plenty of failures, most notably his boogeyman attempts during Last Life. If only he could plan his attacks a little better. And then comes Jem, famously deadly, kicking off the zombie apocalypse and placing 3rd in the only season she's participated in. She's called Gemini Slay for a reason, but unlike Joel, she's better at keeping her head. As a team, she can ground him and target his anger towards more useful efforts. I don't think they'll go quickly. And now we have the Sub 1 Club, consisting of Green, Mumbo, and Skiz. I don't expect them to do well, but I do expect comedy. Mumbo brings almost no skills to the table, but is dynamic with Green always makes great episodes. Skiz isn't regarded as an impressive player either, but he has the experience of 5 full seasons, unlike Mumbo, and he's good with allies. Their defining feature as a team is being extremely accusatory, considering Mumbo immediately starts pointing fingers and shoves Scar out the door for being too tall. This team was founded on the idea of being a teeny tiny man, so I'm honestly doubtful it's gonna last past episode 1 when the wild card wears off. I'm guessing either Green or Mumbo will abandon the group, leaving the other one to look after Skiz and eventually weasel out of the alliance. But if the team does stick together, I'm guessing Skiz and Mumbo are gonna die off, leaving Green alone to find a new team. This next team is scary. Not yet named, but Impulse, Pearl, Scott, and Cleo are allying this season. Do I even have to tell you how wrong that is? Pearl and Scott are both former victors, and Cleo is as well if you count real life in the canon. Jem and Joel are great fighters, but this team has something arguably more helpful. A bunch of rational thinkers. Impulse is famously a redstone genius, and a level-headed and helpful ally. Cleo is perfect in social situations, knowing right when to speak or when to stop. Pearl is a fighter, while also being able to think over her decisions, and Scott is, well, Scott. It's also currently the biggest alliance with 4 people. I think it may split into 2 separate factions near to the end of the season, and Scott's probably going to kill himself at least once. It's tradition at this point. But still, this team isn't to be looked over, and I expect some of the other allies will team up to take them down. This one's a throwback. Merin and Ren teamed, stating their home in the Redwood Mountain. And yes, the deja vu is hitting hard with this one. I think they'll do well, but I'm mostly here for the social aspect of this team. It's going to be so fun to see where it goes, and the fan art will go so hard with the flashback scenes. Especially if one of them dies tragically. Probably Crane Wives animation coming up soon. Martin's most likely going to outlive Ren, or even better, kill him, kicking off a whole new line of angsty fan art. B-Dub's Etho and Tango are the last team. This one doesn't have a name yet, but it's a classic. Team Best is an original, and if Skiz outlives Mumbo, he's probably going to leave Green for these guys, completing the set. I'm excited to see more of B-Dubs and Etho together. Who isn't? And I would like it if they died together, leaving Tango to finish the series on his own. I think whoever's the last of this set won't reteam, and if they do, the deal will be broken quickly with other alliances. They're a set, you don't separate them, and they would never settle for new allies. And finally, we have Big B. He doesn't yet have a team, but I could see Merin and Ren absorbing him into their group later. Currently, he lives on the edge of the creaking forest. Always a good idea. That's not going to go badly. And he's in a house shaped like his own head, no less. I guarantee you someone's going to deface that at least once, with a mustache or a broken skull or something like that. I hope Big B gets some more attention this season. He's kind of overlooked by the fandom. And I think Secret Life Big B of the endless gaslighting and strange holes was really fun. I want some really confused looks this time. And that's all the allies. I'm really happy with the pairings this season. My favorites definitely being the BAM team and Joel Jem duo. As far as winners go, I have 2 separate predictions. One is the actual prediction, using logic and previous evidence from seasons, and the other is purely what I want. There is no logic, and it's probably not going to happen, but it's mine. I'm going to exclude the former winners from both categories, just because if they do make it to a finale, they tend to let the others win, so it's unlikely that they're going to win again, because then every season past Third Life would just be Scott. I think the most likely outcome of the season is a win from Jem. She only played once, but she was almost there. I thought it would have been Joel before she showed up, but he's a bit too reckless. If he survived all the way to a finale, I think he would wipe the floor. But something silly is destined to take him out first, probably due to his long-standing rivalry with Scott. But Jem's been shown to be much more resilient both to the world and the other players, and she probably would have won Secret Life if it had been a 1v1. She's got this season in the bag. But if she doesn't, this isn't going to happen. It's just what I want, and it's probably so far out of the realm of possibility it's not even funny, but I need it nonetheless. This is what I want to see. A Jimmy Scar finale where they really show everyone they aren't the poor players they think they are. They are the poor players that we think they are, but it would be really cool. Anyways, they have an epic fight that's ready to be turned into so much animation, probably with the song Allies or Enemies by the Crane Wives, and Jimmy wins, finally breaking the Canary Curse and solidifying himself as an actual threat. Or he dies first again, very sillily. No in-betweens. I don't need him dying in the middle. That's such a waste. Either first out or all the way to the end. I believe in you, Jim. And there's all my predictions. Expect to see plenty of wildlife content from me as the series goes on. I'm really excited to see where it all goes, and I'd love to see your own predictions in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing for more content like this or dropping a like. It would help me a ton. If you would like to support me monetarily, I wrote a fantasy teen novel, which has a link in the description. I don't have a Patreon, so if you'd like to help me out, there's the way to do it. And lastly, when we hit 700 subscribers, I'm doing a Q&A. If you have any questions for me at all, drop them down in the comments section. I'll reply to all of them. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and have a lovely day.